You must explain why Tinubu's legal team Watermark is on CTC copies. Atiku camp questions presidential election petition court. Nigerians, e don cast. Wetin dem do for night, e don come out for open o. You know say sometimes when they try to play smart, you no know as you go take dey expose yourself. Finally, Nigerians, presidential election petition court has been exposed with this very act, and Nigerians are asking so many questions. How and how on earth can this happen? Well, as then they ask, now so me sef they ask, because the matter just tire everybody. For how long are we going to continue like this in this country? Those who supposed to, hold the law firm, those who supposed to stand for justice. Now, shey dem dey talk say na court na im be poor man last hope. Do we still have something like that in Nigeria? I don't think there is anything like that again. We are finished. Welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for coming out here. If you are just joining us, please kindly subscribe. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Nigerians, the camp of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, presidential candidate, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, has demanded explanations from the Presidential Election Petition Court on why certified true copies of its judgment bears the header of the Bola Tinubu presidential legal team. Niger News records there had been insinuations that the tribunal ruling was compromised in favor of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu due to Tinubu presidential legal team watermarks found on the copies in circulation on social media. However, the coordinator of Tinubu presidential legal team, Babatunde Ugala, San, in a statement on Saturday, debunked such insinuations. According to him, he said the judgment was not compromised and the watermarks were only applied by the team after they got their own copies of the consolidated judgment from the Court of Appeal. Ugala explained further that the lawyers for the PDP were present at the registry when they picked up the clean copies of the tribunal ruling, adding that the PDP lawyers were even the first to pick copies of the judgment from the court's registry. In a statement to Niger News, the Special Assistant Communications, in quote, to Atiku, Frank Shaibu, stated that it is very important that the Presidential Election Petition Court should tell Nigerians why they choose to affix the header of the respondent on the CTC copy of their judgment, whereas the copies that went to the petitioners did not have the same. Was that because the Tinubu legal team is deemed to be accorded special privileges? He asked. The court must explain, he said. Shaibu also questioned why the Presidential Election Petition Court came to the decision to avail the respondents, especially the Tinubu legal team, to have a first receipt of the CTC of the judgment before the plaintiff. The statement reads, "The curiosity is more confounding based on the fact that the lead counsel to Atiku and the PDP has pleaded in the open court to have express receipts of the judgment, to which Justice Aruna Samani agreed and promised to make the documents available the following day, which was Thursday." Nigerians want to know why the Presidential Election Petition Court confers special privileges to the Tinubu legal team by making them have a first custody of copies of the Presidential Election Petition Court judgment, even though it was more urgent for the petitioners who needed the document in order to case an appeal to the Supreme Court within 14 days, including weekends. In the case of delivering his judgment, The Presidential Election Petition Court had spoken of the petition it was ruling upon in a virtuous and degenerating language, as if it was a crime to bring a case of electoral banditry before the court. However, unfolding developments after the court's ruling elicit suspicions about whether or not the Tinubu legal team provided clerical service to the Presidential Election Petition Court. Otherwise, how and when did the Tinubu Presidential Legal Team creep into a document that was supposed to be the official document of the Court of Appeal of Nigeria? We need to restate that the Tinubu Presidential Legal Team, on the top left-hand corner of all the 798 pages, is neither a monochrome, nor a metadata. It is actually a header, meaning that except for a valid explanation, the Tinubu Presidential Legal Team is the originator of the document. For the purposes of clarity, a header is text that is placed at the top of a page, while a footer is placed at the bottom of a page. So, typically, these areas are used for inciting information such as the name of the document, the chapter, heading page numbers, creation, date, and the like. On the other hand, watermark is a font design made in some paper during manufacture that is visible when held against the lights and typically identifies the maker of the document. The Presidential Election Petition Court must, on its honor, if indeed it still has any, clarify why the court chose to put the header of the Tinubu legal team on a CTC copy of its judgment document, while the only emblem that should have been on the document is the stamp of the Court of the Appeal of Nigeria. Again, the Presidential Election Petition Court must explain why it came to the discretionary decision of having the respondent having a custody of a judgment earlier in the day on Friday, while only making same available to the petitioners later in the day, and only after the late counsel to Atiku and PDP had written a second letter. The first was on Thursday to the court demanding for copies of the judgment. Moreover, we have it on good authority that when the Presidential Election Petition Court was informed that the CTC copies of the judgment given to the respondents were already circulating in the public domain with the header of TPLT on it, a further delay was necessitated by the need for it to undertake a laundry of the document by removing the Tinubu Presidential Legal Team header before handing over some to the lawyers of Atiku. Oh, Nigeria, my country. Someone said criminals, they are in haste, forgetting to clean their mess. Okay. So guys, I'm dropping it here. Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not. Thank you for stopping by. Bye for now.